This is M1 iPad Pro, 11 inch, and I want to share my thoughts and just talk about the truth about this device and really what it is and what it means for the tech industry and those who are shopping for an iPad or iPad Pro or whatever type of iPad there is. So let's dive right in. So I've had this M1 iPad for just over a month, and my experience has been awesome. I've absolutely loved this tablet, this iPad Pro. However, in fact, though, the iPad Mini 6 is my first iPad that I own. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite purchase I made in 2021. It's just been an absolute, I use it for everything. And iPad Pro has also taken up a lot of my work that I do throughout the day and night. It's been a part of my daily routine of work that I do. And hopefully I plan on implementing this in my schoolwork as well. So we're gonna see how it works with school, but in the month that I've used this for the channel as well, getting work done, using it for CarPlay, for example, it's been absolutely, buttery smooth. It's been a breeze. It's a powerful device. With M1, I'm just here thinking every time I use, I'm like, I don't even need an M1 chip in this because it's just so powerful. If you have a 2018 or 2020 iPad Pro with the A12Z or A12X, those are already powerful enough. Those are already powerful. And if you are sitting here right now watching this video and saying, man, who cares about what he's saying, I'm gonna go pick up an older iPad, I'd still say you're making a great choice, because I thought about making that choice and going with the older iPad Pro, but it just so happened I came across a good deal and I just went ahead and picked up the latest and greatest. But we're at a point where it's not just with tablets and computers, but it's with smartphones as well. We're at a point where devices last so much longer than they ever used to. We're not making huge leaps anymore we are making huge leaps with performance, but we're not losing out on that performance like 3 years, 4 years down the line. We're not like saying, okay, this phone or this iPad won't last in 2 years, won't get the job done in 2 years. These are so powerful that I believe they will last you 4 or 5, even 6+ years down the line. Obviously, we'd have to check back on in 6 years. Maybe we might, who knows? But they're just so powerful that they're going to last you for quite a long time. They are just so powerful. Like, I don't know what other word to use, but that's just me having this iPad Pro for the past month. That's just the truth of it. It's just a powerful device. And then sometimes I think did we ever need an M1 iPad Pro? Did we need the M1 chip? Did we even need a refresh this year? Maybe if Apple just went ahead and put a mini LED with the same A12X or the A12Z Bionic chip from 2020, and maybe, or if they upgrade to like an A14Z or A15Z, whatever, and put a mini LED display, I think we still would have been perfectly fine, because apps with the iPad and M1, we just can't, we don't see its full potential yet. We just don't know how powerful the M1 chip is. Now, base models do ship with 8 gigs of RAM, and this is the first time that Apple has kind of openly come out and shared with us their RAM configurations. And if you do go for the 1 terabyte or the 2 terabyte option, then you're upping your RAM. You're doubling it to 16 gigs of RAM. That's more than really my MacBook Pro. And let me tell you that this device, this right here, this M1 iPad Pro, is more powerful than my MacBook Pro that I've yet to upgrade to the M1 Pro or M1 Max. Haven't decided yet, and kind of gotta save up for the funds for that. Hopefully that's going to happen in 2022. But I'm just putting it out there. I mean, this is so powerful. I don't even think we needed M1 in the iPad Pro. Now, you know how I said this will last you for years? I think we're at a point where this can kind of replace, maybe not 100%, but for those of you who really don't have a need for a laptop or don't use like laptop specific apps, like if you were to tell me, hey, this is your device to use every day, well, Then I'd have to switch from Final Cut Pro to LumaFusion to edit videos. It's possible I could do it, but it's just not as versatile as Final Cut Pro, so I'd really miss it. And that's kind of the only reason why it's held me back from 100% switching. If this had Final Cut Pro, and just speaking on my own experience and my own thoughts, if this had Final Cut Pro, then I would go ahead and, say, hey, I'm making the switch. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to get the Magic Keyboard, use it all for that, and use this as my main device and main working device for the channel and for the business. But it just hasn't happened. It might happen in the future. Who knows? But there are some apps that are just specific to for your computer, and you just can't get it on an iPad. But for those of you who are going to, let's say, use this for school, and it's for, Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel and taking lots of notes because you just don't want to carry notebooks anymore. I mean, come on. I have a close friend of mine. He switched to the 12.9-inch iPad Pro as his main computer. Let's put it that way. That's his main computer. He does not use a computer because the M1 iPad Pro is his computer. And he's been using it for about almost a year now, and he's absolutely loved it. The experience, he's customized it to his favoring, and it's just been awesome in his experience. He's absolutely loved it. The multitask, like the fact that he has so many tabs open, and he'll go to an app and it'll still be there open as is. It won't have to restart. The fact that he's able to save all of his notes for his schoolwork. The fact that he's able to just watch YouTube videos, watch Netflix videos, stay up to date with Disney Plus and like Hawkeye, for example. It's just been great for him. And I'm just in awe every time I see anyone who switches to the iPad Pro as their main device. Can I do it? Probably not, because of that Final Cut Pro. Those specific apps or the specific applications that are just on a MacBook or are on Windows, for example. If you use a Windows device and you want to switch to an iPad Pro, that's the downside. I think that's kind of the hard truth. For some, this will be able to replace your computer or your laptop, whatever you carry with you to get work done. But for many, it just may not, especially if you're out there in the creative space trying to create or make videos, edit videos. I would say whatever if you're on Windows and you're using Adobe Premiere, or if you're on Mac and you're using Final Cut Pro, it's going to be a hard switch. It's definitely going to be a hard switch until we get something like those apps that are really compatible with this. And I think it would be, if it came to this, it would handle it just fine because of how powerful we've seen, how powerful the M1 is with the iMacs and with the MacBook Airs. We've seen how smooth they work. So bringing those applications to the iPad Pro might, it might push me over, but there's also the fact that Apple doesn't want to drive. They don't want to kind of bring sales into one. They want to keep the MacBook sales and the iPad sales separate. They don't want to fuse two separate devices into one. So I kind of see why they're kind of leaving those certain applications on MacBook Pro or the Mac OS line for now. We might see it. We might not. Who knows? But that's just what I've seen in my experience of using this. Otherwise, I've absolutely loved it. Using it for CarPlay, like I said, it's become my secondary display when I'm editing videos on Final Cut Pro, and it's been a huge help to my workflow. It's definitely made things much faster, much easier. That's a huge fact, and it's just really versatile. The fact that it's an iPad, it works with everything you have. It works with your Apple Watch, or it's going to work with your iPhone or your AirPods, whatever you have. It's just part of that Apple ecosystem, and that's why I absolutely love it. And hopefully, with iPad OS 16, we'll be seeing some more better updates. iPad OS 15 was really iterative, and we'll hopefully see something better with iPad OS 16. But that's really kind of my thoughts with the M1 iPad Pro. If you have one, keep it for as long as you can. Use it to its full capacity. And if you're out on the market looking for an iPad Pro, I think this is, if this is the one that's like there for you, go ahead and pick one up. But if you're out on the market, looking for an iPad Pro, but you just don't need the latest and greatest, because in reality, we don't need the latest and greatest. We're at a point, like I said, where we can have a phone from 3-4 years ago and still use it. I know someone who has a Samsung Galaxy Note 8 that came out in 2017. That's almost 5 years ago, and they're still going strong. So we're just at a point where we don't need the latest and greatest. Do we want the latest and greatest? Of course we do. Who wouldn't? But we just don't need it. So if you find a great deal for a 2020 or even 2018 iPad Pro, I would say pick one up. But if this is just the one that's like sitting right there in front of you and this is your choice, you're going to be making a amazing choice with that as well. It really comes down to the preference of the user and what they're looking for. So that's just me, my experience with iPad Pro, my thoughts on iPad Pro. There's going to be more content hopefully coming soon on M1 iPad Pro. Let me know in the comments down below what type of content you want to see with M1 iPad Pro, or if it's specific for the 11-inch. This is the 11-inch. Let me know in the comments down below. That's really been it. I hope you guys did enjoy just me talking about M1 iPad Pro. If you did, be sure to Superman a like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. That's been enough for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Anyway, everybody, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to Superman that like button, comment down below, because with the more interactions we get on this video, not only helps the video and the channel, but also pushes the video out to more viewers. And best of all, Superman that subscribe button. Until next time, everybody, and until next video, this is MTG.